everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Wednesday and I am so excited to have you here. Thank you guys so much for watching, tuning in. And before we get started, make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you like this content. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't not yet, and turn on your notifications so you know when I go live or when a new upload is on its way. Last night was the newest episode of Teen Mom 2, and I'm not going to do a full recap because the show has hit its peak in the terms of it's on the downhill. This show has been declining in ratings for the last few seasons, and it's gotten progressively worse since Janelle Eason has left the show. And I don't actually say that the reason the ratings went down is because of Janelle, but rather because this show has been on the air for such a long time, and some of the storylines within this show are becoming a little bit boring for viewers. Other people have just found these women so unrelatable as they were no longer like the girls that we met during 16 and Pregnant. One of the more, I would say, boring storylines, or they try to make it interesting storylines, is Leah Messer. Now, Leah has her hands full, let's be honest. She is a mom of 3 children. She is single. One of her daughters is special needs with a form of muscular dystrophy. So she has a lot on her plate. She has to run Allie back and forth to her appointments. She has special accommodations for her daughter, while also a very active 3 girls, all of them involved in, activities. You've got 2 separate fathers who she seems to co-parent with very well, Corey with the girls and Jeremy with Addie. One of the prevailing themes of this past few seasons has been whether or not Leah and Jeremy are going to get back together. Now, Leah and Jeremy's marriage ended very abruptly, and it happened shortly after she began to become dependent on pills. Now, this is the first year that she has opened up about this actual issue that she's gone through, and she's finally coming clean about what she went through. She wrote a book. She's talked about a lot of the stuff that she went through in her teen years, a lot of the things that her mother put her through, and some of the just overall issues that she's dealt with in her life. Now, this season, we are seeing her sort of come full circle, a more mature, a more put together, a more calm Leah, and a different looking Leah. Now, some fans are obsessed and they think that she's had work done. She had some videos that were posted on Instagram by MTV where people were convinced that she had had a brow lift or had something else, but Leah cleared that up very quickly on her Twitter, and she said, "I have not had any surgery, peoples. However, I have most definitely done a 180 on how I choose to diet and live my life, and I feel like it finally shows. My extensions are out, and I lightened up my eye makeup too." By the way, the current situation in the world is the reason why I no longer have extensions. She wouldn't be the only one that don't have extensions right now. And then she said, "Not saying that I'm not all about some fresh Botox filler. Girl, be you, do you. When's the next Botox party? I'm coming." Now, I did notice that she's probably had some Botox, and hey, I love me some Botox too. So, and it's interesting because when you do get Botox, it naturally raises your eyebrows without even trying, because your muscles up here relax and they don't frown, and so your eyebrows actually go up. So it gives you the appearance of a lift without an actual lift. So she hasn't had any procedures, even though she's looking a little bit fresher, different, whatever. This last night's episode, she actually was dealing with a birthday party for Addie. So Addie is her 7-year-old. Actually, she turned 7 last night, and she was going to have a birthday party with Jeremy for Addie. Now, Addie still wants mom and dad to get back together. Addie wants mom and dad to be married. Addie was sort of teased last year because Jeremy and Leah were sort of like, will they, won't they? They had hooked up a couple times. He was kind of crass about how he talked about it in front of the girls. She invited Jeremy to go to Hawaii with her. Unfortunately, Jeremy was not able to get out of work. And one of the big things that would still be an issue for the two of them is that Jeremy works, and he works a lot, and he works out of town a lot. He works in the oil fields. He doesn't have the free time or the flexibility. He's doing pipes, and he's just not around. And that was one of their biggest sticking points, was her constantly feeling like she was a single mom and didn't have the support that she needed. Jeremy, for his part, has said in the past that he does feel like he may have given up on the relationship a little too quickly, but And there might be some regrets because a lot of this stemmed from the time when she sort of got dependent on pills. So with the issue of how they split and then Addie wanting her parents back together, it's this constant of like, I want mommy and daddy to get married. Well, Addie says that Jeremy's going to propose and has a ring for her. And Leah is like, no, mommy and daddy are not together. We're not getting back together. It's fine. They have her birthday party combined with Jeremy's family and her family, and they go to just a place where you can play games with the kids, like skee ball and all those other types of games, arcade games. And during the, event, they're sort of sitting there and you think that they're going to get a moment to talk, and they're not, they don't. And Addie obviously is just so happy to have her mom and dad together. On Twitter, Leah reiterated that it was more important to her that Addie have memories of her and Jeremy together with Addie, so that Addie has memories of mommy and daddy doing things with her as a family. And she said Addie will most definitely always have these memories with mommy and daddy, even though we aren't together. So and then she also said that she absolutely loves Jeremy's mother and she loves being with the family, and they looked like they had a really good time. And when you have a good co-parenting relationship after you've split, and the idea of getting back together could somehow change that co-parenting relationship, make things potentially not as easy for the kid. I mean, it's a big transition for a child to go from two separate homes to mommy and daddy back together. And then what happens if you don't get back? What happens if you split up again? It's just a lot to consider. And I think that's probably one of the reasons they don't get back together. And then I also just think the indecision of Jeremy being on the road, Leah not wanting to settle, Leah sort of on this path towards healing. And she's definitely grown up the last year or so. I've noticed quite a bit on Twitter. She is spending a lot more time advocating for her children, talking about, access issues for Allie and the insurance issues and everything that she's dealing with by raising a child with special needs. And she's using her platform to try to just be more positive and bring more awareness. And she's been very big on her platform as well about voting for Joe Biden. Everyone's using their platform for something in this election season. So with her finally making the decision about her and Jeremy not getting back together, I have this sense that this is not going to be the last time this comes up. I feel like until one of them is actually in a relationship where they have completely moved on from the other, where say she's back with someone or she's with someone and they're married, or Jeremy has a new girlfriend and they're married, this won't come up. But the fact that they're both single and not with anyone at all, it leaves open that question to fans who desperately want them to get back together. Although I don't know that I actually want them back together. I just don't think they were a good fit, even though they still obviously have chemistry. It's a confusing one. You want Leah to be happy, but you don't want her to be with the guy that was always gone. All right, so what do you think about her saying we're not getting back together and Addie has mom and dad and can still make memories? I love that. I love families that can work together. I love that they can make and create memories for Addie, and I love that they can co-parent in an effective and healthy way. And then what do you think about them possibly never getting back together? And what do you think about Botox? Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye, guys.